I do labor when there is a check at the end of it.
Going to be financially celibate, meaning that they're not going to be spending any money on a woman until marriage.
And she was like, yeah, this guy is nice or whatever. He wants to take me on a date so we can like get to know each other, but I'm not going nowhere until he pays a bill. What?
Funds are available that I can take care of it up front, $1,000, so I can have it before we continue. If he has a problem with that, then you don't need to be having sex with him.
At first, I didn't get what she meant. Let me told you what I sold this cat for. It's getting painted.
Attention that the fellas are now starting something where they're saying they're going to be financially celibate, meaning that they're not going to be spending any money on a woman until marriage. Okay, this is my thing. What woman in her right mind can you actually date and not spend no money on her until y'all get married? It's like y'all are saying, y'all are upset with women who are becoming celibate and saying, well, since y'all saying that y'all want to wait until marriage, we just ain't gonna spend no money until marriage.
It's the same thing. You know what we're saying, really? We want to take the time to get to know you. Why, if you're not giving it up, why should men spend money? It's an even exchange. You ladies don't like being fair with guys. This is why men don't want to date any longer. Seriously, it's not confusing. It just doesn't make sense.
A woman who got common sense and is not gonna deal with no scrubby man, that's not gonna work with. More and more, y'all come up with things to make y'allself more lonely. Y'all gonna push the male loneliness epidemic even further with that.
Hold on. There it goes. We're going to push the male loneliness epidemic even further. Men are lonely.
Foolishness. The women are making more money now. We're more independent. We're becoming more financially stable than men. And this is not to bash men or put men down. But y'all saying y'all ain't finna spend money on women no more like that. A lot of y'all already ain't spending money on women now because you don't have it to spend. Like, in all honesty, y'all want to be lonely. Y'all want to be in a position where you walking around angry because you can't really get the attention of a woman. And until you do all of the things that a man needs to do, which is provide, protect, and lead, y'all are going to be constantly having the same issues that y'all are having regarding women. That's it, and that's all.
You know, a lot of them don't realize the issues never change for men. They've always been drastic. Like, think about it. There's a reason ladies that are lesbian become men, like doing full operation, make themselves look like men, and they go null and void. They get ignored. I'm talking about the handsome guys too, and get ignored. Why is that? Because you ladies are cold. So, are men gonna get anywhere but being warm? Oh, I'm going to spend money on you, baby. No, he's gonna get taken advantage of. There's no other way to be but cold. Pookie and Ray Ray's cold. He gets whatever he wants. Chad and Tyrone is cold. He gets whoever he wants. Now every man is cold. And you know what's wild? Some guys that are regular dudes end up getting the girls because they don't stand for crap. A new day has arrived.
It don't mean that you stop selling it, right? At first, I didn't get what she meant. Let me told you what I sold this cat for. You see this room? It's getting painted. Did that help? Not really. You know why? Because I had to sell a little cat for her.
Watch the OGs teaching them. Watch this.
For their money up front, less men would want to have sex with them. Whenever I'm counseling young promiscuous girls and I can't get them to see that their low self-esteem and low self-worth is what is contributing to the fact that they're having sex so easily, I quantify it. I tell them, don't have sex with a boy until he spends $1,000. So we know, Flat Earth. It slows their brain down. They're going to have to start paying attention and adding it up. Because I can't get them to process feelings because they grew up in an unhealthy environment. I can't get them to process boundaries because they don't know.
So you teach them how to be 304s. Don't get with a man until he spends 1,000. Well, we already know you're doing that already. That's why you have the 3 to 8 rule, right? That's why girls lose their mind. All right, we figured it out. You want a man to spend $300 on a date because you can't wait to get to the 1,000. We figured it out, guys. Don't fall for it anymore. Men have to be financially celibate because we don't want to spend 1,000 to get to the cakes.
It's taking them some time. But what most people can understand is money. So when you tell a 16, 17-year-old girl, don't have sex with that boy, and I mean boy, not a grown man, a boy, until he spends $1,000.
Hold up, whoa. The 16-year-old don't have sex with that boy, not a grown man, a boy. What are you promoting here? Right? Like I heard it correctly, right?
On you, it slows them down so they can pay attention. And when they start adding up the math, when they start adding up their little Wendy's and McDonald's and their little dates, and they're realizing that it's not adding up to $1,000, it helps slow them down. So the same thing to grown men too. Don't sleep with that man till he spends $5,000. Imagine if the fruit of that union, there's a baby.
Now, it should be like 500 for little boys, 1,000 for men. $5,000? Are you crazy? Men are spending $5,000 on you?
You can't make this shit.
It's crazy.
And you can't even afford to go to the clinic because he don't have it, you don't have it. Then what? The baby's gonna cost more than $1,000. The baby's gonna cost more than $5,000. So if you collect the fee up front and you say, you know what, we're engaging in sexual activity, as a result, a baby can come out of that. For my peace of mind, I need to know that
My peace of mind, we need to wear condoms. That's what men need to do. We're wearing condoms. All that other stuff is out the window, right? If you wear a condom, it's out the window. If she agrees, look, I don't want to have this, we're wearing a condom. So if you get pregnant,
the funds are available that I can take care of it up front. So I'm gonna need you to give me $1,000 so I can have it before we continue. If he has a problem with that, then you don't need to be having sex with him. If he tries to tell you, oh well, we don't know, we could use condom, we could do this, we could no.
Yeah.
I need to have the deposit available and saved.
You need to be by yourself.
So should or if when I can go ahead and go take care of that. If there's an argument or there's a disconnect that ensues, you need to walk off. I found that the results is amazing. It causes women to be less promiscuous when they have something tangible and a benchmark, because most women are goal oriented. When you give them a benchmark to hit and they realize that benchmark is not being hit because they're not confused by emotions, they get better results.
And this is why dating is screwed, right? From ladies like her who are outdated. You're still dating back in the 80s. In the 90s, you know what's funny? Ladies say, I want 90s men back. Those men were singing, baby, I'm begging, baby, because they were cheating. They were cheating and beating ladies up. That's what they were saying, baby, I'm begging, baby. That's what she's used to, cheating and beating.
Having a monetary standard to prostitution, I know, is because deep down you think that the man you want is not going to want you back, and you know that because you know the only way he could have you is if you just let yourself go at a discount. That's what's making you upset. Money is a part of life. If you want to sleep with men without requiring anything, like, you're obligated to do so. Nobody's stopping you. Go out on a date and you decide you want to sleep with a man that day, that's on you. I empower everybody to do what they want to do with their body. You have full autonomy over your body.
It's wild because I'm sure she was giving it up. She was handing out that kitty cat to everybody for free. So stop it. Get some help. Seriously. I see what you're trying to do. Yes, I think young girls shouldn't be as promiscuous as they are. Right? Things have gotten out of hand. But you don't push them being, 3 or 4, 'cause that's pretty much what it is.
If you've been consistently giving out cat for free or for minimal effort and you're not liking the results, there's a reason for that. If you have poor self-control and you lack discipline when it comes to dishing out your cat, you need security measures in place. And money is a thing that's universal that most people understand. It's hard to teach people like how to synthesize emotion because everyone processes emotion different. Everyone has a different attachment style. Everybody was raised different. Me, I'm a very detached person. Some may even say I have an avoidant personality. The way I process things and the way I navigate certain things is going to be different than a person with an anxious attachment style. It can't relate to it. They're not going to understand how to execute it. But everyone knows how to execute money. So if you want to give it out without any work, feel free. Nobody's stopping you. Nobody's judging you. The advice is for women who know they've been promiscuous and they don't like the results that they've been getting and they want something different. You're promiscuous because deep down you want to be in love and you want a man, but you notice you keep on giving up the cat and you still can't get a man. You can't keep the man. Hey, maybe it's time for you to try something different. Try this advice. See how it works out for you. So it could help you pick the right one. That's what the advice is for. Because you know if you actually put standards in place, he's not going to live up to the standards. He's not going to do the work. And why you have to ask yourself, why would you even want that kind of man? Why would you want that kind of person? I know real life prostitutes. Like, I know girls who've been on the streets. I know real life escorts. Like, I promise you, the advice that I'm giving, that's not how they operate. It would tell me I'm doing too much. What I said, they would tell me when I'm doing too much. They're not going through all of that.
No. You're lying. They wouldn't say that. They would say collect them funds. You were once that. Be honest. There's a lot of ladies. She been selling that kitty cat from way back. She was the $40 holler. I got $40. Holla. Get out of here.
They are direct. First conversation, they start off a little flirtatious. They do man math. They're looking at him and they assessing. They're counting. They're looking at how much he's spending, like how accommodating he is, how generous he is. And as soon he gives any inclination that that the timing that he's on is sexual, they straight up put their price on the table. There's no hesitation, no shame in anything. And if he starts doing all of this, they're walking away. They're never afraid to walk away. Real prostitutes don't engage emotionally. They don't invest emotionally.
That's what you're telling girls to be.
Capacity.
So what are you
Real
saying?
prostitutes are not doing any long talking with a man. So the advice is for women who know you want an emotional relationship and you keep on overextending yourself physically in a physical capacity and you're still not getting the emotional relationship. So if you want that emotional relationship, you need to slow it down. And if you have poor self-control, this helps you.
You know what happens to girls, right? They practice these things. It's very dangerous, actually, because men nowadays aren't playing. But I'll play ball, right? They practice these things and they become addicted. And you know what happens? They kind of realize, wait a minute, I'm a 3. They start to feel like it. And also, they don't respect the man that does it. Because there's ladies that's doing that, but they're doing that to the man that they don't respect, the man that they don't like. And men know that. So what do you tell them to do? Well, the guys that don't watch content like this or that don't understand these things, they'll just play ball. So it may work, but this is the new era, and the Gen Z men and even men my age are not hearing it. They're not going for it. So all these little tips, all these little sprinkles, that works on suckers. But guys know, if a woman really likes you, you don't need much money. And men would rather deal with those kind of ladies. Ladies like you?
No, thank you.
Subscribed from dating, culture, romance, partnership, all of it. Y'all won. I don't do it anymore. I don't participate. But one piece of like dating advice that I find potentially the most annoying is when people say, you have to treat it like a job. And the thing is, I am only treating something like a job if it pays me like a job. Matching with a certain amount of people and having a certain amount of conversations and scheduling in a date, like a meeting every week, like I do labor when there is a check at the end of it. So if you're somebody who is looking for women to follow who are more interested in their coins than that other stuff, it's me. Hi.
What? This is why they're against financially celibate men. They can't handle doing it alone. All of them are saying that. I need to do something for money. So if you're looking to spend some coin, what are you giving them? That's what a man's gonna say. What am I getting in return? What you gonna do for me? You're gonna give me some services? Say it's not the being a 3 or 4, right? You're gonna cook. You're gonna rub my back. What am I getting? Because the back rub ain't enough.
I'm just starting to get followers on this app, but as someone who really believes that women are worth their weight in gold, does anyone else feel like we're getting a little bit too money hungry, a little too this for that, a little too transactional? Like, I was overhearing like a girl having a conversation at the store, and she was like, yeah, this guy is nice or whatever. He wants to take me on a date so we can like get to know each other, but I'm not going nowhere until he pays a bill. Why would he do that?
Thank you.
I feel like there's like a lot.
And she's the most beautiful girl in all of the videos today, right? Damn, since it's funny, when I was back in the West, the beautiful girls, they were the ones going. They didn't want. It's weird. Like, it's not weird. It's a good thing. It's a good weird. But those women are not qualified anyway. And you notice the woman that was saying get the coins compared to her. Look at the difference. Men are wearing their options going. Now, of course, she's going to want somebody that's handsome, but still, that confidence, right? As long as you're not cocky, confident, you probably can get her.
It's like a fine line that's being like played with these days, and it goes from like having standards and knowing your worth to kind of gross. Gross. Is it just me?
No, it's not just you. It's all of us. We're sitting here watching it going, this is deplorable. I don't know if I used that word, but I think I did. Deplorable. Let me see. Let me look it up. I want to make sure I used it right. 1 second. Deplorable. Meaning, let me check that out. Deserving strong condemnation. The deplorable conditions in which most prisoners are held. Yes, deplorable. Exactly right. Let's go.
Like, oh, I'll text you when I wake up tomorrow. And I was like, okay, perfect. Good night. A day and a half went by and I didn't hear from him. So I said, screw it. I'm just going to text him. And I said, hey, are you still sleeping? Or this is the response I got. What do you mean, LOL? I texted you and the message never went through. So I assumed you found someone at the bar or something and blocked me. LOL. I said, wait, no way. What? I never got a text. He said, it's really not that big of a deal. I feel like you have a lot of other options probably. So I really didn't take it personal. I said, LOL, that wasn't the case. Was in bed by 8 p.m. When did you send the text? 11 o'clock. I sent a screenshot of our text and I said, got nothing. He said, I swear I sent it. I wish I screenshotted it, but I deleted the messages. Thought you were done.
And she blames every guy. I bet. She blames every guy, but that's not the guy for you. That's the guy that gets everything. Look, if he talked to you, right? He most likely talked to you at the bar, right? Didn't he? Men are not doing that. Men are being approached. So if he talked to you at the bar, he's used to giving a round of applause on a regular basis. So of course this is gonna happen. Was he a Chad? That answers your question. Like, seriously, this is why dating is so screwed, because they're all confused. She's saying, oh, this is all men. This is what they all do to me. No, that's what Chad does to you. You look at the dating apps, most of you you're picking Chad and wondering why these things are happening. You asked for it.
And treats them well. Women get bored when they know that they can push him around and he's still going to treat them well anyway. To a woman who has her head screwed on straight, a man who treats them well and has respect for himself is seen as kind of the golden standard. A man who treats them well but has no respect for themselves, not interesting. A man who has too much...
Wait a minute. So, what you're saying is, pretty much, and this is what girls are doing. We already know. We're not dumb. They keep saying, give us money, give me money, give me money, give me money. The man that gives it, they hold him down here. The man that doesn't give it, they elevate him. It's still the same. Things haven't changed. This is still female psychology. You ladies want what you want. And things didn't change. The thing that changed is men aren't playing ball. We already know. The reason why y'all are barking so loud is because you can't handle doing it alone.
Respect for himself and not enough respect for others, aka doesn't know how to treat a woman well, not interesting. If you're a man who knows how to treat a woman, this is what you need to look for. You can't settle for the woman who thinks that she's better than you and thinks that she can walk all over you. I don't care if she's pretty, I don't care if she gets attention from other men. Not for you. You want the girl who can recognize that you are valuable because of the way that you treat her and because of the way that you live your life. You want the woman who can recognize the things in you that make you special and you valuable to her, and she loves you and wants to care for you for that reason. You don't want the woman who sees what you have to offer, whether it be money, care, love, all of the above, and wants to wring you dry for it. Let the next guy have her. She's not actually all that great. Be picky about the woman that you give your love to, so that you don't have to feel like you treating her well is going to make her bored.
See, and that's what men are doing. Men are taking that advice. And we're not taking it from you. We're taking it from ourselves, right? Men are self-soothers. We are. We're self-soothers. How do we soothe ourselves? Hobbies, hitting the gym, maybe working extra shifts, maybe playing a couple of rounds on a game, 2K or GTA 5, many different things. I don't, participate in those things right there, but that's what all men are doing. Why? Because there is no male loneliness epidemic, like the lady said in the first video, trying to say, oh, men financially celibate. No. You can't flip that. You can't flip it. You ladies are the ones starving, not us.
Wrong place when it comes to dating. You're not really sure who you are, what you bring to the table. You're kind of insecure, not confident, don't feel good when you look in the mirror. Maybe you feel weak or sick, out of the loop, behind in work, behind in life, not a lot of friends, but you're wondering why your dating life isn't working out. There's an aspect to dating that has nothing to do with women and everything to do with yourself. That's actually the most...
She's trying to give men advice and doesn't understand not a lot of friends. A lot of times the men, when they get older, they know not to have a lot of friends. You don't see me hanging around with 15 people every day or calling 15 people every day. I call no one. Why? Because we realize we have to handle doing it alone.
Most important aspect of dating. You have to know who you are. You have to buy what you're selling. You're not going to get very far marketing a product that you don't even believe in. You're going to seem ingenuine, unprepared, unhappy, unworthy, everything that you should be. There is a depth to a confident and truly masculine man. And that depth is what comes across to a woman and makes her attracted, drawn, and magnetized to you. And there's no rush. There's no reason for you to feel like you need to skip right to the part where you are smooth and suave with women. You need to start from the ground up. It's not too late. You need to build the foundation before you go out and try to put the house up or whatever it would be. I don't know.
very, very anti-man content on this app. And there's one creator in particular who every single one of her videos is telling women that love doesn't exist and that desiring love as a heterosexual woman is essentially equal to self-flagellation. Now, I completely understand women who are anti-man. The same way I understand a Native American who's anti-white. I get it. I'm never going to judge someone from a community that's historically been hurt and abused by another community for not liking people of that other community. I'm never going to judge somebody like that. I get it. I understand. However, I think there's a lot of gray area missing in this conversation. And I suspect that that's because there's a lot of really young people driving this conversation. And historically, young people are very black and white. The closer you are to 20, the more black and white your worldview is going to be. And I just want to offer kind of a counterpoint. To be clear, am I defending men? Absolutely not. I would never do that. I would never, ever do that. And if I did do that, it would be very late on a Friday night in the privacy of my own home with the people closest to me. I would absolutely never use a public platform to defend a man. I have seen way too many women be humiliated defending a man who turns around and come to find out he's exactly what everybody said he was. So I would never do that. This is more so in a defense of love. I don't subscribe to any world belief of scarcity, period. Whether that's scarcity of money, scarcity of community connection and friendship, scarcity of food and resources, or scarcity of love. Personally, I believe that love is an abundant resource. Not only is love a possibility for heterosexual women, I believe it is our birthright. I also don't believe that men as people are inherently biologically incapable of love. That is not my belief. What I believe is happening right now is something that's, again, totally understandable. And I'm not judging any woman ever for believing otherwise. But what I believe is happening right now is an overcorrection for centuries, if not millennia, of bad behavior on the part of men. What men have done to women over time and still to this day is, there are no words. There are no words for how disrespected, disregarded, dehumanized, and destroyed the feminine has been for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, as long as anybody can remember, as long as documented history dates back. So I get how so many women have gotten to this point in their lives. They've watched their grandmothers be treated like slaves. They've watched their mothers be put in the position to be superhuman. They're watching their friends and their sisters be constantly and relentlessly disrespected by the men in their lives. I understand how a woman can get to the point to where she has to villainize men past the point of humanity in order to keep herself safe. I get that. I'm
sorry. I was listening to you until I saw the cat come right on your lap, and I couldn't help but think, men don't care. That's the point we've come to now. Get a dog, get a cat, die alone. And the reason I made this video is because that's facts. Don't want to accept this because you can't handle doing it alone. Thank y'all for watching. Peace out. See you next video.
The Iceman is coming!
Winter is here.